And Skip, 10 plays, 53 yards.
Well, he pulled out too early. That's what happened. You saw the ball spring straight up in the air, folks. That's an indication of the quarterback pulling out early.
And it was Matt Woods on the recovery. Vanderloot Guerin deep in the end zone, has his receiver out to the 20-yard line. And with the reception is Mike Berzawa. So another first down goes in the books for St. Francis with 2 minutes, 12 seconds to play in the game.
And we're seeing some fresh jerseys on defense. Some of the younger guys are getting an opportunity to play now.
St. Francis going with their 2-minute offense. No huddle. Ball put back in play. Vanderloot Guerin. Deep drop. Good time, but underthrown and nearly intercepted at the 45-yard line. Rich Hamoud almost made the interception. And let's take a look at what's on tap for Wayne State.
Is this a late hit, too?
Grand Valley State. That's going to be a tough game.
Oh, it is. Anytime you go at Grand Valley, even though Wayne State has played well on the road, Pete, a very tough place to go in and play. Get Ferris State after that, and following with Ashland. Ashland's always good, and then with the game that we'll do on December 29th, Hillsdale. Hillsdale has had an excellent program through the years. Michigan Tech, and then close it up in the big dome up in northern Michigan. They always have a fine football team. Very tough schedule coming up for Wayne State. It's important to get a win under the belt and to go on the road again, Pete, where they've had some success though this year.
St. Francis on that play called for a personal foul. All right, while they march off the penalty, let's go downstairs to Stanley Edwards. Stanley?
Hey guys, I got a question for you. There's 2 minutes left to go in the game. I'm quite sure the coaching staff's aware that Joe Goss is just shy of 200 yards. What do? You'd like to see your star player achieve some of his personal goals, although you got a big game next week. You're in contention for the title, and you want to make sure that you have your star ready for next week. If I'm the coach, Joe Goss has to sit down. I don't want to risk injury on this kind of track here and get this man injured. Although I'd like to see him get 200 yards, next week's game is more important than an individual statistic. Back upstairs.
Well, Stanley, right now, as you can see that they did run a nice draw play here. St. Francis got a first down. They're going to move the sticks. So what's going to happen is maybe that Wayne State's not even going to have an opportunity to make that decision, that maybe St. Francis is going to have the ball until the end of the game.
It was Matt Bacara rumbling for 25 on the inside handoff. Clock stopped momentarily to set the chains. 1:56 to play. First and 10 for St. Francis from their own 35.
Kind of get in position to do that.
See the score and the time as Vanderloot Guerin drops back. That one's high and tipped and nearly intercepted once again. So the clock will stop with 1:47 to play. Vanderloot Guerin that time was a little high, but he had three guys around his intended receiver.
What is he doing? I don't know. Maybe it's easier up here, and it's easy to say that as a young man who's been under pressure all day long, that maybe he's not seeing the linebackers in the corners dropping into that zone, but there were three green shirts there.
It is a lot easier to read the pass patterns from up here, but yeah, you're right.
Maybe he's a little bit like Testaverde. He has that color problem.
Could be. Both teams are wearing gold helmets.
Come on, D!
Second down. That inside handoff. There's Berzawa. He's got running room. Runs past one tackler and crosses into Tartar territory at the 49-yard line. 15 yards for Berzawa on that carry, and he has been the primary offensive weapon for St. Francis this afternoon.
Once again, this play is as old as football, folks. This inside trap, and they're utilizing, both teams are utilizing it to great success today.
Vanderloot Guerin is going to be dragged down and sacked. It's Gary Rutan again. And Gary Rutan had help that time. Also coming in was Tom Milanov. A loss of 8 on the play. And St. Francis has taken their first timeout of the season. Of the half. Boy, I've been up here a long time. First time out.
You know, I guess as a player, I always had a problem with this, Pete. I guess, you know, as a coach, you want to see you have an opportunity maybe to score some points and give some mo to the next week's game to say the offense scored his last possession. Yeah, I know we lost the game, but look what we did and work on some positive things. But it's 21-3. Let's not get anybody hurt. Let's let the clock run. Let's get out of town, and let's reorganize ourselves.
Well, this is a good opportunity, though, for Vanderloot Guerin to get some type of experience of being under great duress. And this is going to be, in the long run, good for him. As painful physically and mentally as it is, it's going to be good for him in the long run.
Well, anytime you have the opportunity, there's the big number 22 today, 194 yards, 195 yards, full day's work, 42 carries. But anytime you start as a freshman, you're just going to get better and better and better. And the decision-making will come along as you mature.
Officially 45 carries and 193 yards for Goff. Vanderloot Guerin under heavy pressure again, just throws it away, and that'll be intentional grounding.
Well, I think it's going to be roughing the passer.
Well, let's see. It's 99 Gary Rutan talking to the official.
He's trying to sell it. No,
it's
right.
grounding.
You're grounding.
It is intentional grounding. Rutan has had one whale of an afternoon.
Well, see, this I think is a bad call, and I'll tell you why. He has a screen to both sides of the field. So the blockers are out there, but there's no receiver. So he's looking here. You'll see a lineman come into your picture very shortly. This guy can't see numbers.
Said like a true lineman, no receiver. You're blaming the receiver. The linemen were fine.
There it
Let's
is
take
right
a wider
here.
shot.
Let's take the wide shot here. You see my linemen come on down here. Look at this. They're going to break out right now. Here they come right here. It's supposed to be a middle screen. All right, let's call it grounding. I tried to sell that.
It's a receiver's fault.
Yeah, it's a receiver's fault.
The penalty makes it 3rd and 18 and moves it back to the 22. A minute 27 to play in the 4th. Vanderloot Guerin will drop back to the shotgun, and he is in deep trouble again and gets hit as he releases. That was number 41, Rod Simmons, coming in from the linebacking position. Simmons is a freshman, and he's getting some quality playing time, and he got a good lick in on the St. Francis quarterback.
Look at the smiles. Look at the smiles on that young man's face.
It's 4th and 28. St. Francis, well, I guess they're going to go for it.
From the 22-yard line.
Well, if they go for it, then you have a decision about number 22 coming in the game.
That's true. A lot of fresh faces in there. As we did mention, Simmons from Oak Park, Michigan, and Oak Park High School. Vanderloot Guerin hit as he releases again. Would that be Gary Rutan?
It sure would be. Number 99. He's played a heck of a football game. In fact, once again, folks, the whole defense has played well for Wayne State.
Gary Rutan has been a very dominant player. I had not seen Wayne State in person. I'd only read about them, and the one thing that you got from reading the notes was that Gary Rutan and that guy, Joe Goff, were both very dominating players, and they've shown that. And Joe Goff is not coming out with the Tartars offense.
Well, that makes sense.
And a new quarterback, Michael Gluski.
See,
handoff goes
Brian Van
straight
Gorder
ahead.
is listening to the Big E down on the sideline, Pete.
Yeah. Handoff goes straight ahead. Our quarterback, Michael Gluski. He's a freshman, 6'1", 180 pounds. He has attempted only one pass this season and did not complete it. Gluski comes here from West Bloomfield, Michigan, Walled Lake Central High School.
A lot of recruiting out in that area.
46 seconds. Clock is rolling. Wayne State will lock up win number 3 on the season. Handoff, and the ball is loose, and Gluski dives back on it as Dustin Cunningham didn't get the handoff that time.
Come on, boy!
And once again,
that should be about it.
That should be about it, as the clock is now inside of 25 seconds. They'll reset the ball, and that very well, it may have been the last play of the game.
See, now, if I'm in this football game, I throw a pass. I'm on TV. I want mom and dad to see me.
Exactly. But that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. If that was the case, you might not come out next week.
Well, the gun goes off, and the game is over, and Wayne State has won it 21-3. So the Tartars move to 3-2 on the season. They've not been this good record-wise since 1991. So this is a bit of a new experience for Coach Van Gorder, but it's a very happy one. They have a tough matchup next weekend, but before you look ahead, this was a good, solid afternoon of football.
Well, Pete, going into the game, we said it's a game that they should win. They got that accomplished. First time they've done that in a long time at Wayne State. The games they win, this is what football is all about right now. This is good.
Yeah, you'd rather see this than the fights and the brawls and all that other unsavory stuff that has no place in college football. And there's a guy, a throwback. Joe Goff from Union Lake, Michigan, Orchard Lake Prep. And what a credit he is to that school, as is his classmate Nate Bush, who also went to Orchard Lake.
If I could just see some of the little things that since you've got your program established.
He had to play it tight to the cuff today.
So the Tartar offense didn't play that well in the second half. They were shut out in the second half, but the defense for Wayne State, they allowed the opening field goal, then after that, they shut the door.
Well, they played excellent football once again defensively. Offensively, they didn't play bad, but what happened was that they didn't punch the ball in. They took, I think, and we'll get some stats from Barry Smays about the 7-minute drive that did not score.
Okay, Stanley Edwards, Brian Van Gorder, take it away, Stanley.
I'm here with Coach Brian Van Gorder. It has to be a tremendous win, Coach Van Gorder. You dominated the game from the first series. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good. Anytime we can establish the line of scrimmage like we did, Stan, especially early on, you feel good about it. That's the kind of football we want to play, and we were able to do that today.
Now, Joe Goff was nearing 200 yards. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. 200 yards is a nice feat for a running back, but you do have to be concerned about next week's game. What came in decisions to Joe not to go back in on that last series?
On this very last series, we just wanted to get some other guys some work. I don't know how many times Joe carried the ball today, but it's too many. We're putting a lot of carries on him right now early in the season, and we're trying to be careful about it, but it was just one of those games today where we needed a big back like he is, and so we used him a lot.
The team was pretty dominant today. What do you do and what do you tell your team to not have a letdown next week?
Oh, we won't have a letdown. We're playing Grand Valley, so there won't be a letdown here at Wayne State. That's the kind of game that we've worked hard for 3 years to get ourselves involved in a game like this. We're 3-1, and I don't know what they did today, but it'll be a big game.
Thank you, Van Gorder. I appreciate everything to you. Good luck next week. I also have right here the star of the football game, Joe Goff, but you cannot have a star without his hogs with him. If I can get you all of the offensive line to come around here too with me. Now, I'm a former running back, and I know how you get all your yards in. Great game today. Talk to me about it. What do you think about it?
It worked just like we drew it up. You know, the guys made great blocks all day long. They do a lot of stunting and a lot of scheming that follows a lot of people up, but our guys paid attention to assignment. They paid attention to alignment, and I just, I followed my blocks all day long.
You would love to have this performance duplicated next week against Grand Valley. That's a formidable opponent. What do you see happening next week?
I see us claiming half of first place. That's about it.
That's what you should do. Here we have one of the best running backs in the league, one of the top running backs in the country in the division. Also, without a good running back, you must have a good offensive line here. Talk to me about your offensive line.
These guys are big and they're strong and they come off the ball for 4 quarters. And the thing that's different about these guys is that they never say die. There's no quitting these guys. When I feel down and I've had about 30, 35 carries in the game and it's the 4th quarter, these guys are like, hey, let's get it going. I can see it in their eyes. They start to light up, the ball starts rolling, and then we get it done. That's how it works time after time. We pick each other up, never let each other go down.
There you have it, the running attack and the running game for the Wayne State Tartars. Back upstairs to you guys.
Thanks, Stanley. Well, Joe Goff did it all today, but also the defense and the line. Great overall effort for Wayne State. 21-3 the final. We'll wrap up this afternoon's game after we take this timeout.
You just never know where the music's gonna take you. Cause some nights you're up there playing, and all of a sudden, magic. Now you can feel that same magic. Play Michigan Lottery's Daily 3 bonus nights. 2 nights a week in September. Daily 3 winners win more money, up to $100 more. But just like with this horn, you never know what night it's gonna hit. So you just keep on playing.